Yo, what is going on, guys? Peak DFS or Kevin back with NFL Week 1. Here's my picks. I did a first look video, got a bunch of views. Appreciate you guys. This is going to be my updated picks. Let's get into it. At quarterback, we got Tom Brady at the top. Good matchup for him against Houston. I think this should be a pretty high-scoring game. Houston, New England. Really do like Tom Brady this week. You can be contrarian and pay up for him in GPP, but I don't think Tom Brady's the move for cash games. I like to pay down at quarterback for cash games, so do a bunch of other players. Most of the field, usually. But I do like Tom Brady at 7,200 if you want to be contrarian. Cam Newton, I love Cam Newton in this spot against Dallas. We'll have Cam Newton in a Millie Maker lineup. I really just like this spot for Cam Newton. Going against this weak Dallas secondary, I think Cam Newton can have a really good game here. I expect him to have pretty decent ownership, I would believe. And then we got Drew Brees, 6,800 against Tampa Bay. It's an excellent matchup for Drew Brees. I think the New Orleans offense puts up a ton of points here in the Dome against Tampa Bay. As you guys know, Mark Ingram is out for the first 4 games. And everybody just assumes Drew Brees is going to throw the ball 50 times. I honestly don't see that from Drew Brees this game. Maybe I just don't see them making him have to do that, and I see them getting up quick against Tampa Bay and him not having to throw 50 times. He's probably going to throw the ball 30 to 40 times this game. That's what I would say. But I do really like Drew Brees in this spot. If this game becomes a shootout somehow, some way, I think Drew Brees is going to put up a bunch of points. If it's a shootout, I don't necessarily think it's going to be a shootout. I think Tampa Bay is going to get blown out here. But I really do like Drew Brees. This spot, 6,800. Really like Deshaun Watson. I expect him to be high ownership as well. Coming off his injury, you guys know what he did before he got hurt last year. He was just unbelievable. Multiple touchdown games every game. You know, this dude was at just sealing games, and it was just ridiculous watching him play. It was awesome. Now, it's impossible for someone, I wouldn't say impossible, but it's very unlikely that he's going to hold that throughout the year. Throughout 16 games, I doubt he can put up multiple touchdowns like that throughout the whole season. But I do, obviously, he has that upside to put up multiple touchdown games, rushing yards, rushing touchdowns. He is the best dual threat quarterback in the NFL. Really like Deshaun Watson against New England, which should be a shootout. And yeah, this is going to be a good game. It was last year when Deshaun Watson went to New England, and he kind of surprised everybody. He surprised me. I didn't think he was going to do that to New England, what he did last year. It should be a very good game again. He should have pretty decent ownership at 6,700. Going to Big Ben, 6,600. On the road in Cleveland, it's a good spot for Big Ben, but as you know, he's one of the most home road split quarterbacks. Even in this spot against Cleveland, I think he can get points here. Maybe throw for 2 touchdowns, but I don't think he will be high scoring that you would have to play him. But obviously he can against this Cleveland team. They've upgraded a little bit on the defense, but I don't expect Big Ben, to have one of his 4 or 5 touchdown games here against Cleveland on the road, especially on the road. But I do like Big Ben this week. I'm a Steelers fan. Obviously got to like him. Kirk Cousins, this range right here. Kirk Cousins has a great matchup against San Francisco. We don't know how he's going to do with his new team, but I think Kirk Cousins is going to do really good this year. with Minnesota and all his threats that he has on offense. Do like Kirk Cousins in this spot against San Francisco. And then we have Phillip Rivers, probably going to be one of the higher-owned quarterbacks on this slate for good reasons. He has a great matchup against his depleted Kansas City secondary that wasn't really all that good last year. They lost Marcus Peters. Obviously, he was good. He wasn't the best. He would get beat and stuff like that, but he did get a lot of interceptions, which helped their defense out a lot. And I think I saw something about Eric Berry. He's still having problems with his heel. He might miss week 1. So if he's out for week 1, this game could very well be a shootout. And this game could be very good for DFS. Really do like Phillip Rivers in this spot against Kansas City. Going down here, not too really interested in Marcus Mariota. Denver, or Russell Wilson against Denver. They have their secondary got downgraded, but their pass rush got upgraded with the players that they drafted and picked up and stuff like that. So you can always look at Russell Wilson, 6,200. I probably won't be playing him. I do expect Andrew Luck to be one of the highest owned quarterbacks this slate going against Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a tough defense, but they're... Oh, there goes Ryan Braun, homer. Got him in the lineup. Anyways, they are a tough defense, but I think Andrew Luck, first game back, everybody's going to want to roster him. Now, this game could be a sneaky shootout. So, yeah, I do like some pieces of that game. Not really wanting to touch Patrick Mahomes. You can play Andy Dalton if you want to in this game against Indianapolis. Their secondary is just terrible. Definitely not touching Garoppolo, Bortles, or Alex Smith. Not really wanting Dak. Another quarterback that could be highly owned is Tyrod Taylor. I'm seeing a bunch of talk about him. People going to be playing him in cash games. Not going to be touching any of these quarterbacks right here. Not Tannehill, not Bradford. But I do really like Case Keenum against a depleted Seattle secondary. I think Keenum is going to do really good with Denver. I'm going to have a Keenum lineup. Really do like this spot for Case Keenum against Seattle. Moving on to running back, Le'Veon Bell, not playing week 1. Alvin Kamara is going to be very chalk for good reasons. Going against Tampa Bay. No Mark Ingram. Obviously, he's not going to get 20 rushing attempts. And if they do, then they're stupid. I expect Kamara to get like 12, 15 rushing attempts, and then his normal like 6 to 9 targets. That's what I project him for. He's not going to get 20, 25 rushing attempts. That's just silly for them to do that, and I don't think they will do that. But I really love David Johnson at 8,800, 300 or more for Kamara, and at this point, I think people are just going to take that $300 discount and go to Kamara. But I really do love David Johnson and GPPs. Kamara is going to be the chalk and cash, but I really do love David Johnson and GPPs against this Washington defense that was terrible against the run last year. David Johnson coming off that wrist injury. People are saying like, oh, David Johnson, 8,800, coming off an injury. I'll do the wait and see approach. It was a wrist injury. That's not going to affect his running, maybe his carrying, but I honestly doubt that. Against this team, I'm going to have David Johnson. This is a great matchup for David Johnson to come back and be that dominant running back that he was last year. Not too interested in Ezekiel Elliott, Fournette. Next running back I'm interested in is this range right here, Melvin Gordon. He's a bell cow halfback. They use him for anything and everything. Really do like this spot for him, 6,800. Especially with McCaffrey going to be the more chalky player. Melvin Gordon is going to have ownership, but McCaffrey is going to be more popular. But I really do like pairing these two up In tournaments, McCaffrey's going to be the more cash game chalk player. But I really do love Melvin Gordon and Christian McCaffrey in this range right here. You can take a shot on Dalvin Cook. I'm not sure if I'm going to have him, but that is a great matchup for Dalvin Cook. Going down here, Alex Collins is a wonderful play on FanDuel. Not so much on him on DraftKings, but since he doesn't get any targets. But this is a really, really, really good spot for Alex Collins, and I think that he's going to have a really good year with Baltimore. Last year he played, he was looking really good, the games that he did play. Going down here more, I think James Conner, if you're not playing James Conner in cash week 1, you're doing it wrong. This dude is going to be the uber chalk. With Le'Veon Bell not reporting, they expect him to report Saturday, just assuming so he can get his game check. He's not going to play Sunday. James Conner, he's going to be chalk, 4,500. You should have him in all your cash games. That should be a cash game lock. Tournaments, you could fade him, but I'm going to have him in tournaments. Going down here more, you can look at Rex Burkhead. With all their running backs being injured right now, you can look at Rex Burkhead. I do like him. Not too many people here. Going to wide receiver, really love Antonio Brown against his spot in Cleveland. With Le'Veon Bell out and James Conner really coming into that offense, I think they're going to give Conner the ball, but their main focus is just going to be to feed Antonio Brown because that's just what works. And I expect Antonio Brown to have one of his just, normal 100 yards, the best wide receiver in NFL to do his thing. Really like DeAndre Hopkins in this spot against New England, but the Patriots are known for taking away the number one threat on the opposing offense. So you can play DeAndre Hopkins, but they're more likely gonna Stephon Gilmore is probably gonna shadow him, and then not shadow him, follow him around one-on-one, and then they're probably gonna have like a safety shade or something like that. But I really do like this Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, AJ Green range right here. These are my favorite 3 wide receivers this week. Michael Thomas going against Tampa Bay, which was just terrible against the pass, terrible against anything last year. Really do like Michael Thomas in that spot, 7,800 if you want to pivot off of Alvin Kamara. Like if you think they get the lead with Michael Thomas by scoring 2 touchdowns, and they don't really need Alvin Kamara to do what he was doing last year. Do like that spot for Michael Thomas. Love this spot for Keenan Allen. He's a PPR monster. It's a great matchup for him against Kansas City. I believe he can put up over 100 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. These wide receivers right here, Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, AJ Green, they're going to be really popular, but for good reasons. They have great matchups. AJ Green against Indy. This is a great matchup for him. These dudes are just going to be really good. Going down, Chris Hogan should be popular as their main wide receiver since Julian Edelman is out. Demaryius Thomas, you can look at him, but I like Emmanuel Sanders more. Going down here, Will Fuller is questionable to play right now. I think his hamstring. Yeah, he's listed questionable for Sunday's game with his hamstring injury. But I really love Emmanuel Sanders in this spot right now against Seattle with Case Keenum. And Case Keenum targeted his slot wide receiver a ton last year. And Emmanuel Sanders is going to be coming out of the slot this year with their pickup of Cortland Sutton, or Cameron Sutton, whatever his name is. So I really like Emmanuel Sanders right there. Scrolling down, I think one of these Dallas wide receivers, they got to throw the ball to somebody. I kind of like, what's his name? The rookie that they have, damn, it's just passing my mind right now. What is his name? Michael Gallup. He could have a good season opener. He has a good matchup against Carolina. You could look at this. Cam Meredith could be a sneaky little play. Tyrell Williams. But if you go down more, where's he at? I'm just gonna type it in. Keelan Cole probably gonna be or is gonna be the most owned player on this slate, with Marquise Lee going down to it with an injury for the season. Keelan Cole is going to be very popular, only at 3,800 week 1. So those are the wide receivers. Going to tight end, at the top we have Gronk at 6,900. I think DraftKings did that on purpose. But Gronk in a fantastic spot against Houston. I'm going to have Gronk probably in every lineup that I build. I just love Gronk this week. Is a really good matchup. Not that many players to target for Tom Brady. He has Chris Hogan and Gronk. And out of those, he's most comfortable with Rob Gronkowski. This spot for Gronk is just too good, in my opinion. And this year, Gronk is going to put up absurd numbers. He's going to have a really, really, really good season. Going down here, you can look at Delaney Walker against Miami. Miami was really bad against tight ends last year. And Delaney Walker is a pretty good wide receiver. He can have a really good game here against Miami. Not going to be touching Evan Ingram. You can look at Jordan Reed here going against Arizona. If he's healthy, 100% healthy, 4,000, that's just crazy for Jordan Reed. We all know this guy's upside when he's healthy. 4,000 is a great price for Jordan Reed. Going down here, I kind of like Jack Doyle. But they did sign Eric Ebron. But I do believe Jack Doyle will get most of the targets at that tight end position for them. Going down, you could look at Tyler Eifert. Coming off this injury against Indianapolis, I do expect this game to be a shootout. So you can look at Tyler Eifert as a pass catcher on that offense. Going down here more, you can look at ASJ if he's completely healthy, which I don't know if he is or not. He practiced fully on Friday with a core muscle. I don't really know what's wrong with him, but this is a great matchup for him against the Giants. Last year, the Giants was just terrible against tight ends. Basically, you could play any tight end against them, and they would score last year. They would get 50 yards. I do like ASJ in that spot. You can look at Ricky Seals-Jones right here. And then I think a sneaky play could be Jesse James, 2,700. Cleveland was very, very, very bad against tight ends last year. With Vance McDonald being ruled out for week 1, you could look at Jesse James as a punt play. He can get you like 40 yards and a touchdown maybe. If you can fall in the end zone, he will kill that 2,700 salary. Going down, I think there's nobody else that I want to play down there. Then going to defense, I think that if you have the money, you pay it for Ravens. They have a very good matchup going against Buffalo. Not really many options on that offense besides LaShawn McCoy. And this Baltimore defense is pretty tough, and they have Nathan Peterman at quarterback. So I really do like this this defense for Baltimore in this matchup. You can look at the Saints against Tampa Bay. The Saints defense, they have a great pass rush, and their secondary was pretty good last year with Marcus Lattimore, and they started picking it up. Do like them. You could look at. I'm trying to think of a lower owned defense you can play. 2,000 you can play the Chargers. This defense, but they did lose. What cornerback did they lose? I can't think of the cornerback they lost, but they lost a cornerback. But well, no, actually think about it. Do not play the Chargers because I forgot about Joey Bosa being rolled out. That does hurt their defense a ton. With him being rolled out, he's in a walking boot. Something wrong with his foot. I forgot all about that. So the Chargers they'll still be fine, but do know that they could get beat by Jeez, I'm just having a brain fart right now. What is his name? Tyreek Hill. I don't know why I couldn't think of it. They could obviously get beat by him deep. Any team can get beat by him. And they have a rookie quarterback coming into this, Patrick Mahomes. We don't know what he is going to do in his season opener against the Chargers. A sneaky defense. I think they wouldn't be sneaky, but I don't know. You can maybe look at the Panthers here against Dallas. That offense is just very, very bad with just Ezekiel Elliott. That could be a very sneaky play if you want to play that in tournaments. But yeah, I think the highest owned defense is going to be Ravens, probably Jaguars. I like the Jaguars here against. They have a really good defense against this team. Eli Manning. He could struggle here against Jacksonville, but I think I'm just going to pay it for Baltimore. That it is it for week 1. Look, guys, hope you guys do really good week 1, win a bunch of money, go out there and kill it. Excited for football being back. If you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week for week 2.